Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and it's the start of a new season. It's the start of our second MotoGP 23 career mode season, and it begins here in the Portimao test with a new team. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have been promoted to the factory Red Bull KTM team. I loved the RC16 in the form of the Tech 3 Gas colours, but now we have power, we have speed, we have the factory support, and this is the very same bike that won the MotoGP Esports Global Series with the form of Jackhammer, so why can't it work for us in MotoGP 23 career mode? I am ready, I hope you guys are too, as we almost make a mistake into turn 1, bit like what Fabio Quartararo's done there. And this is it. I'm so excited for this. I'm super nervous as well, to be honest, because look at that. Look at the stats on the right hand side of your screen. Spec A is a beautiful motorcycle, which could be the difference maker from us finishing in 4th to finishing as a world champion in MotoGP 23 career mode. I am so ready for this. I've been nervous as anything to get onto this bike, but also extremely excited. I have massive expectations for this season. I've been screaming, been crying, I've been praying, I've been every single emotion, trying to get more power with the RC16 in the Gas colours. It's a bike we're already familiar with, we like the feeling of it, I've said before I like it online. This should be the perfect partnership. I really hope it is. It could be a partnership as good as DrAce and Sergio 23. Could it be? Let's hope it is. But I am super excited for this, and I am really ready to crack on with this season. I think we're going to really focus on MotoGP 23 career mode now for quite a while, because regardless, I want to do another season at the end of this one. I want to try and get at least 3 seasons done within the MotoGP category before we move up to the eventual 24th iteration of the MotoGP video game. So for reference, the last time we came here to Portimao to do a winter test, we were with the RC16 of the Tech 3 Gas, which was criminally underpowered. It was absolutely woeful, and our best lap with that one was a 1:38.8. My first lap with the KTM is a 1:39.4, which wasn't necessarily a great lap. I was a bit nervous in some of the corners, but I don't doubt that we will do a much better job than what we did in the Tech 3 satellite KTM team. Apologies, I'm just nervous for this one today. I'm super excited to really crack on and just see what we can produce. And already we're in the top 10, so as long as we stay roughly within a second of the competition, I think we're going to be good when it comes to race situation coming very, very soon. So far, the bike feels significantly different, I'll be honest with you. It feels really, really powerful, which it should, because of course the engine power is much different to what we had with the satellite team. And I think we've got to still try and learn what works best for us, because looking at both of these specs, I haven't shown you Spec B yet, but they are very similar, very fast, very strong, and I've gone wide there for turn 11, so I'm actually not anticipating the additional speed with the KTM. I'm actually struggling to get it stopped compared to what we did with the Gas. So, learning curve for now, but I think we'll manage that and we'll also master it. I did notice a couple of corners ago that the front tyre is probably not the tyre to use. It heats up very quickly, and I almost lost the front in quite a few moments there, so just have to calm it down a little bit, get back into the rhythm, and start learning what bike is best for us, because bear in mind, both of these packages are new to us. It might be the RC16, but it's different because of course we have additional power now, the stability's different, everything's different. Look at that, it's completely different to what we've already grown accustomed to for doing 20 plus races with the Gas. We did 40 races, including sprints, last season. So that's a lot of time to get used to the Gas, get really familiar with its quirks and habits, and then we've got to do the same for the factory bike as well. I do know that the Gas feels pretty good regarding stability, even though it didn't look like it on the stats as we go deep into the Tour VIP. This has not been a good debut so far. I need to just take it steady a little bit. I think I'm pushing a bit too much. Just trying to get a bit too out there and start putting in fast laps. So we just need to take a moment, start to relax a little bit, because I know Tour VIP we've made mistakes now on pretty much every lap. Going up here to the right-hander to the Portimao corner is where we've lost a lot of time for making mistakes. So right now, I kind of made the same mistake. Just calm down a little bit, actually. I'm feeling the pressure, you know, because this is a big season for us now. We did everything we could to try and finish in the top 3 in the MotoGP World Championship, which unfortunately didn't come to fruition. We were very close, but just missed out at the final hurdle against the fantastic Marco Bezzecchi. But this is the year now where everything's level. We're on the same points as Bastianini. We're on the same points as Pecco Bagnaia. We can have a great season, but it all starts here. Portimao, Argentina. 2 races, 2 Grand Prix last season where we didn't acquire a single point. So in essence, we could be well over 100 points behind by just the first race. Not quite, actually, that's more of a World Superbikes thing with the 3 races. I guess it's, what, 37 points? So you're looking at almost 80, 90 points, whatever. Quick maths is not my thing, but it's very high amount of points to lose, which we did, in theory, lose last season. So to come back and only be 200 points behind, we had a great latter stage. And really thinking about the tracks that we lost time on last season due to the lack of power, due to the lack of speed coming out of corners, if all that's gone, and this KTM can handle that, then we're going to have a great season. And I'm so ready for it. I'm super excited. I mean, I'm sure you can tell. I know you guys have been looking forward to this as well. And honestly, it's so humbling and it's great to know that you guys are looking forward to the episodes. And now it's beginning to work and now it's beginning to happen. We're up by a tenth of a second. We're going faster than the beast. We could be into the 137s without too much hitch very, very soon. But that would be a whopping improvement of 1.4 seconds. Into the right-hander here, 8 tenths quicker. Oh, small wheelie there, just got to try and adjust to that. Maybe I change it back to anti-wheelie 4, something similar to what we used with the gas in the early stages of the MotoGP 23 career mode. And here it comes. We will be within a second of the beast. Vinales looks to be going quicker, so he might drop the benchmark to something a bit lower. But we'll see as we now go into the gallop for the fourth time of asking, onto the right-hand side. Give me that brand new power. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the roar of the engine across the line. Where does this put us on there? Top 8. Good stuff so far. So here we go then, guys. Moving across now to Spec B. That medium front was looking really worse for wear there. So I decided to change to another medium front. Did a half a lap and realised I didn't even record. So apologies there. Still very much getting into it, but today, as you can see, Spec B, Spec A, both offering a lot more engine power. Difference being with the controlled fuel delivery. I don't know how much that really affects the performance in MotoGP 23, so I don't think I'm going to pay too much attention to that. Stability going up to 5 instead of the 3 which was proposed in Spec A. Handling more or less the same. Handling of 7 and handling of 8 I imagine's relatively the same. Probably marginal improvements across the board. And then of course electronics development increased by the 1. But the thing that's got me inspired with Spec B. Last season in MotoGP 23's career mode we had the gas which also had tyre wear at a medium, if I'm not mistaken. I know the fuel consumption will still remain high, but I think we're kind of adjusted to that anyway, and we still have good races even when we have to reduce the fuel. But the thought of going for a high burning rear tyre, you know, tyre wear that's going to be depleting fast and degradation being really high, I don't think I want that. So if anything, I'm leaning towards Spec B in today's video. I'm happy to already pick that if I didn't have much of a choice. You know, if I couldn't have the time to test, then I'd just probably pick Spec B. And already, to be honest with you, since I've increased the anti-wheelie, Spec B does feel a little bit better. Whether that's to be increased stability helps, or the handling, which is more or less the same, I don't know. But so far, that felt really good. It felt nice and clean. Yeah, that's a good feeling for me. Medium front soft combination is not bad. And I'd like to think now that those tyres hopefully won't get too hot. Just notice the front there getting a bit warm on the right hand side. But regarding that rear tyre, I can't say I really burn up the rear. It's not something I do too much, but it's something I've got to focus on. I'm actually a little bit unsure about this season. I think it's going to be a fresh experience. Of course, all the other teams are going to be increasing. All the other teams are going to be upgrading as well. We're not sure yet. I'm still very much on the fence. I think the best thing for me to do here, just keep churning out the laps. Just keep putting out the laps there, see how I feel. I'm not too concerned about the lap time. I would like to get into the same second, but I'm not going to stress over it. We're ahead of Jack Miller, that's good stuff, and I imagine we're both ahead of the two Tech 3 Gas teams. But something that does need to be mentioned, which is an absolute cardinal sin in this game, is Brad Binder has been replaced. I know you might have already noticed this already since Jack Miller's there, but yes, I replaced the fantastic and quite possibly one of the best South African riders ever in the Red Bull factory team. That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking to replace one of the best riders in MotoGP today. I wouldn't have done that personally. If I was Pit Vira, if I was part of the KTM teams, I would not have replaced Jack. I would have not replaced Brad. But also at the same time, I don't think I would have replaced Jack. I had a great season, yeah. But is it enough to replace either of them? I don't know. I really don't know. That's a question for someone else to answer, and I'm glad someone else did, because there's no way that Brad Binder should not be replaced. So in my opinion, what makes me sleep easy at night is I feel that Brad Binder may have either had a injury or some surgery, meaning that he's missing this season. I don't like the idea of me just replacing one of the best riders in MotoGP. I'd like to think he's having some arm pump surgery that's going to last 20 rounds. I don't know. Whatever helps me sleep at night, right? And of course, guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying the video, hit the subscribe button. It does help out the channel. And of course, it lets me know that you guys like these sort of videos. Liking the video also does that as well. But I'm pretty confident that you guys are enjoying these, so I'll keep on making them as long as you click the like button. So, this has seemed to be a good lap so far. 10th and a half in our back pocket. This could be the one to put us closer to the benchmark of the 1:37.3 set by Jorge Martin. Raul Fernandez into second place as well there. Goodness me. Not quite expected from the Crypto Data RNF Aprilia. Not bad into the left-hand side there. Tried to reduce my habit of downshifting to first gear. That's something I'm working on this year, and I think that's going to help us a lot. But out of the penultimate, the penultimate corner, now into the gallop for the right-hander for the 7th time of asking. Almost lost the front there temporarily, but this will be an improvement, and I think I'm going to change the tyres because that looks a bit knackered now. It's looking a bit worse for wear. Maybe? Maybe not. Okay, we'll give it another shot, and then maybe we'll consider changing that on the next lap perhaps, because a bit loose there onto the brakes, but we're up into the first split. Okay, yeah, we keep the tyres, not a problem. We're still running here in the official test. Only 0.8 of a second behind the runner-up in the real-life MotoGP World Championship. Fernandez second, Bastianini out there. Well, he's back in the pit, but he's in there in third. Alex Rins up to 8th. Curious to see what the performance of the LCR Honda as we go wide into the Tour VIP, meaning that this lap, this is the lap's no good. So I've just jumped back across now to Spec A. I like to bounce between the two packages. I don't want to favour one more than the other. But I am curious to see how well the soft option tyre will cope with power setting on 2 now, because I don't feel my 1 lap pace is the concern. I think I'm going to double down and I'm really going to focus on nothing but race pace with power setting 2, because if we can still be competitive with the second power option and still put in good lap times, be competitive with the AI, keep up with them, or even better, beat them, then I can't see us having any issues for main Grand Prix. Our problems are not sprints. We do very well in sprints. I think we had around 6 or 7 sprint podiums last season, a couple of victories in there as well, and only a handful of MotoGP Grand Prix wins, from Assen to Red Bull Ring and then into Mazzano. Anywhere else, we've not been able to get it done in the full Grand Prix, so I think the focus in this test is power setting 2 and maybe fighting the wailing tyre wear. Not saying we should run soft option tyres for races in scorching heat, but it's something to fight against when you're in a battle, and it's good to learn those little things. I don't think the soft option's going to last, but I'm curious to see what it can do for us with a second power option, really hot front tyre during a heavy battle, excuse me. I think it could be worthwhile to know. So I'm going to do a few laps like this. I'm probably not going to show you all of them, but I'll do 1 or 2 with this soft front if it holds out, and then I'll move on to make... Oh wow, that lap time was really good. That lap time has surprised me there. With power setting 2, we were 0.3 of a second away from our power setting 3 lap, with the second bike. I did like the second bike a little bit more. I don't know what it is about this first bike, but it just feels a little bit looser. Even with the second power option, I don't think this feels as comfortable as Spec B does. I don't know what that is, because there's nothing in there that's really that much different in the sense of the project in each of the packages, but it just feels better. And I know Spec B has the reduced tyre wear, so I am leaning towards that. I am a little bit biased, even though I tried not to be for this video, so I almost lost a front there. That was scary. Not crashed yet, so I don't want to ruin this, and I don't want to jinx it, but we've just got to be careful. With the soft front looking like that, it could definitely happen, so just be careful into the power setting 2. I think we'll be alright. With power setting 3, I've probably already crashed by now, but so far, not too bad. And we're still a second down to Morbidelli, which is a surprise from Franco, and it's a bit of a surprise for myself, but I have to remember there was a lot of times last season where the 120% difficulty AI were 1.5, 1.7, sometimes 2 seconds quicker than us in practice, and we still got on the podium in some races. Look at Qatar, for example. I pushed like crazy to try and stay with him in qualifying. I didn't stand a chance, but then we finished on the podium in both races, so who knows what it's going to be like. But across the line, it's another solidly consistent lap time coming in with the wailing front red hot tyre and power setting 2. I think we're going to be alright this season. I think we're going to do just fine. I'm looking forward to this, I really am. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I hope I gave Sergio a massive shout out already in the post from yesterday where I announced the team. But a huge thank you to Sergio23 for that helmet, because it's absolutely fabulous. Even got a little bit of an homage there to my granddad. Love sort of stuff like that. Of course, if you've been following the channel since Christmas, you know I lost my granddad on Christmas Day, and it's been really difficult, so I'm glad that Sergio put that little motif on there for him. So we'll see what we can do this season, and we'll see if we can win it all for the aces, for my grandfather, and of course for me as well, and of course Red Bull KTM. They'll be watching, and they'll be keeping a close eye on things. I might have to start drinking Red Bulls instead of Monster, who knows, but a little bit deep there for turn 11. Not quite gonna get the job done, and I don't think we can claw this lap time back now. We definitely can't claw it back now, Christ almighty! Well, that was a little bit scary, my apologies. The soft front has been retired for now. Maybe we'll come back to it later on, but I'm curious now to go back to Spec B with a hard front, with the second power option, for more of a race pace now, because if we do choose that soft for a sprint, I think we'll be alright. But for an actual oh, steady, just touched the apex into Lagos there. Still quickest going into the first split. Gotta say, the second package just feels really nice. I don't know what it is, but it just feels planted. I like it. I like this one a lot. Nice braking into the Tour VIP. It's still a corner I struggle with. With the AI, it's like the bike just doesn't turn in for me. I'll have to be using the AI as a barricade to go through there, I think. That's how usually you have to do it. Let them bring you around in the corner. But into the Samsung corner. Hard front still looking very, very nice. A little bit of a wheelie going over the rise. Back down to anti-wheelie 3 now as well, because I do feel that anti-wheelie 4, although it did help keeping the front end down, I think I lost a little bit of speed. But right now, I've got to do more laps. I'm going to do the video here today, and I think I'm going to still sink in a lot of laps just to get the feeling. Really make sure we get it right going into the Portimao race, because I think this is going to be a big one. From the sprint to the full race, this will really determine how well our season's going to go. Against the 120% difficulty AI, we have to have at least a good chunk of points. If we're fighting for dead last again like we were last season, then forget it. We're already faster than we were on the gas, not by much, but enough that it's a talking point to think that we're around, what, a second quicker? That's alright, considering I'm still a little bit sluggish on Portimao. It's been a while since I've really tackled this track with serious... Oh, goodness me. That was too tight. Hearts in mouths moment there for the number 47. You know what is really annoying about the previous year? I like to describe our rider, and also many other riders, you know me, you've heard the commentary before. Instead of just describing Fabio Quartararo as Fabio or as Quartararo, it's the 2021 World Champion, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, the Frenchman, you know, all the other categories and achievements to list. But I realised that I was going to start calling myself the Independent Rider of the Year, but we didn't even get that, did we? Marco Bezzecchi took 3rd place in the championship and he took top independent rider. So unfortunately, it's just little old me, the rider who finished 4th place in the championship, the Brit, the 29-year-old from Warrington. That's it. That's all I can give you in this one. Unfortunately, we don't have any particular title apart from being the Moto2 and Moto3 world champion. But as it stands, we would be Rookie of the Year though. We are Rookie of the Year. I'll take that. I'll very much take that. But as it stands, this is not going to be a great lap. I mean, I say that, but it's still going to be relatively competitive with the laps we set earlier, with the second power option, meaning we're going to drop 2 tenths. That's just fine. 4 tenths, 2 tenths, not a problem. I think we can cope with that throughout the season. Now there's a couple of tracks that I have circled in an imaginary calendar for this season. One of them being Assen, because that seems to be a pretty much guaranteed victory. I hope it is, because now I've spoke up about it. Maybe then I might jinx myself, but at the same time, I kind of hope they put more of a fight. Because I don't want to win every race by dominating. I want to win races by fighting and really getting the gloves off with the AI. Something similar like we did in Valencia when we went really gung-ho battling with the riders. But I am really looking forward to certain tracks. I'm looking forward to Buda again, actually, or Bud. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But that was a great race in MotoGP career mode, and I think a lot of the final rounds were good. We need redemption in the Chang International Circuit after this fool here decided to go on slick tyres in the wet. And then and then a couple more as well. Kota is one of them I'm going to have to do for the American fans. I think we can get that one done. We did well in the sprint, and we had a decent race in the race. A decent performance in the race. And then, of course, Jerez, 7th place in both the sprint and the race. There's a lot of tracks I'm looking forward to this season. With a good bike, with extra power, with extra speed and stability. This could be a good year, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, rub your hands together. It's going to be a cracker. I am a little bit annoyed here that I'm not got into the 37s. And before I finish this video, I must get into those 137s. Not necessarily for the lap time to say, oh, I'm closer to Frankie, but the fact of just pride. I don't like being that close to the next increment of second without getting it. Well, I digress for now. Let's continue to push with our motorcycle. I'm just using a bit of power setting 3 here to get across the line, and I think I might start chucking in some laps with the 3rd power option to see if we can get that 137 that I'm somewhat coveting. I mean, I would really like to get it, and I would like to see what our 1 lap qualifying pace is. There's a lot of things I want to try here, but I'm conscious how long this video will be, because I think if it's... I know it is up to me, but I think I was going to say if it's up to me, and I would probably do like the full 120 minutes, honestly. But I have no idea how long that video would take to render, and how big that file would be. The stingers you already see in the video are like 5 gig each already, so that could be a massive video and probably take me all day to render in 4K, but we'll see about it in the future. Let me know, actually, in the comment section down below if you want to see tests to be bigger and longer, or if you're happy with the length and the usual 35+ minutes that we have going into these videos already. But good to say, this looks to be the lap to put us into the 137s. Not bad, only down by 41,000 of a second compared to the... Oh no! I ran it deep into 13. I dropped down to first gear there just to give me that extra power out the corner because I made a big mistake, and then into turn 14. Ah no! Is that the Sagres corner that I've just completely bottled it in? Damn it! Sorry guys, I was pushing then. Thought I was going to get it. Amazing to think though, we're only down in 14th, but as I say, I'm not interested if it's 14th, 10th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, doesn't matter to me. Then it's that gap. To be only 9/10 of a second behind the competition is absolutely fine for me. I'm happy with that. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. If the worst tracks for us, so... Oh my god, the Sachsenring, I forgot about that track. The German GP, if we can stay within a second of them, we might have a decent chance of a good performance there. I was not bad in the first stage of the race, it's just towards the end where it's just damn near impossible. But with TCS2, with more power, with more speed, acceleration, experience, maturity, you name it, we could win at those tracks that we never could before. And that is exactly what I'm excited for this year. That's why I'm looking so much at those gaps. I don't care if it's Franco Morbidelli who's the top, or Bastianini or Martin. All I'm interested in is keeping that gap within a second. We didn't need to worry about it in qualifying and we still performed well. Mugello was a great point. We didn't perform well there either, but when it came down to race, it was all guns a-blazing, gung-ho battling, and we got ourselves a good position to finish off with, which was also a very exciting race, if I may add. Again, I've gone deep into 13. Not quite used to having this additional power. I'm usually braking where I would be with the gas, but clearly it's making mistakes into 13 there, so we've got to sort that out. Not exactly looking like Pedro Acosta right now. He was absolutely brilliant into turn 13 in Moto 3. And then onto the right-hander for the gallop. For the 14th lap today, onto the power and across the line, it is going to be a 1:38.401. So 38, not a problem. Low end 38's consistent pace with power setting 2 or 3. Don't think 3 or 2. Oh, goodness me, I've done it again. I don't think power setting 3 or 2 makes a massive difference here in Portimao, so I think this one for the full race should be pretty good. I'm confident. I'm really confident for this. I'm super excited. I really can't explain to you anymore, but if we look back at last season, Pecco Bagnaia was actually doing a 1:36.7 at the end of the session. I think it was with about 60 minutes to go, so it's about this point now is where Pecco Bagnaia pulled the pin. Will he do it in our game this year, or will he not? Who knows? But if anything goes by from looking at what the actual factory Ducati points are, they're looking like an engine power of 10. We're up to 5 or 6. We're going to lose speed on the straights, but we have that superior corner speed. Actually, no, we don't. I guess we're good on the brakes. The AI is just too powerful in those corners. The hard front is probably on its last legs here as well, by the way. A lot of right-handers here in Portimao, so let's finish this lap and let's move on to another tyre combination. I might go for the same yet, I'm not entirely sure. Still tempted to change the anti-wheelie back to 4 as well. A lot of things I'll keep trying throughout this one before I actually finish up here today. But for the video's sake, I'll try a different tyre to, or maybe a fresh tyre just so we can get things back to normal and get them going again, because it looks like we've lost a bit of momentum over the past couple of laps here, especially since we made that mistake into 13. Okay then guys, just jump back over to Spec A. I did actually do the lap and then I didn't record, so what we'll do is we'll get back onto it now, get some fresh laps going. Hard front, soft rear. We did well with Spec B, but could it be with Spec A? And finally, as I mentioned earlier, someone has pulled the pin. This time it wasn't Pecco Bagnaia from the factory Ducati team, it was actually his teammate, the Italian, the Beast, Enea Bastianini, getting the 1:36 of the session. The only man into the 1:36s as it stands. Quick downshift to first gear, that actually helped me getting into the corner. But one thing I will say, compared to the gas, dropping down to first gear does make me feel really unstable. So I think this is a good thing to happen, because that will really kick me out of the habit of dropping down to the first gear. Because if it causes instability, should I say, I'm going to get a little bit nervous and I'll probably stop doing it. So that's a good thing, and hopefully I'll learn from it. Put into the Samsung corner for turn 8. This is our 17th lap of today's video. 17 laps of pure effort, fun and exhilaration with the Red Bull KTM. I still can't believe Brad Binder's been replaced. Absolutely manic, that, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers. Actually, what is the biggest surprise of this one? The fact that Morbidelli is second, or the fact that Brad Binder has been replaced by me? Let me know in the comment section down below. Because Fabio's down to 16th. Frankie's having a bloody brilliant time today. He's up to second. I really hope that corresponds for the season. I'd love to see Franco back up there. So let's hope he is. And we're going to be keeping an eye on Takaki Nakagami this season. He did acquire points on the latter stage. Can he do it earlier? Can he do it sooner this year in MotoGP 23's career mode? So across the line with Spec A with hard front, soft rear. I will be honest, it doesn't feel anywhere near as good as Spec B. I think I've made my mind up, you know. It's just a little bit more difficult to turn. No, I think I'm happy with this one, you know. I think I'm happy with Spec B. It's such a hard choice because they're both so marginal different, but there's a slight feeling difference. And I think that's all you need. I think that little bit of a difference is all that you need to really say, this is the package for me. So into the Tour VIP. Do I downshift to first here or not? I guess I'll leave it in second. I can never make my mind up with that one. I'll probably bounce between the two because there's no sort of instability there in that corner, but there is in a few others, so I'll have to be careful. Oh my god, I lost the front! Well, Spec A has absolutely broken my heart there. That went without warning at all. So I am not going to bother with that one now. I'm going to jump back over to Spec B. Let's just do this now until we get to the 137s, and then I think I'll probably call it there for the video, and then I'll chuck out some lap times myself because I've got to practice and got to get prepared for the Portimao Grand Prix coming tomorrow. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a double MotoGP 23 video. MotoGP 23 Portimao test, immediately jumping in to the KTM debut. And I'm sure there's no complaints with that. I think we're all very much looking forward to see how we fare in the first official Grand Prix of MotoGP 23's career mode's second season with the Red Bull KTM. Gotta say, this is looking like a good lap so far. Third power option, anti-wheelie 3. I think I've finally cracked it. I feel a lot better now. Jumping back to Spec A really made me realise how much better Spec B is. It isn't... It's hard to explain. I find it very difficult to explain my feeling with these games because marginal to me is not too bad, but marginal to some is massive. It's hard to explain, but I can feel it and I can feel the stability, but it doesn't feel massive, but it's just enough to give me that more confidence, and that's basically what I'm trying to explain to you today. I'm hoping after doing a bit more laps in a bit, I can really decipher what I want to say and explain it to you in a more professional way. But right now, giddy DrAce is excited and very happy to be doing this video, so I can't really think of the words. But on the right hand side for Galp, this is going to be the lap time to put us into the 137s. Ladies and gentlemen, across the line, did we get it? We certainly did. A 137.802, 8/10 of a second behind the Beast. So there we are then, ladies and gentlemen. Our fastest lap was actually pretty much perfect in every sector, barring the fourth. So we have still got to improve. We've got a lot of areas to improve. We've got a lot of areas to focus on going into the Jerez test, which will come up obviously after the fourth round. But those are the lap times on screen. Good to see none of them were invalidated, although we did run off into turn one a few times, but the lenient rules of track limits is not too bad here in MotoGP 23, but yeah. Spec A features in there as much as Spec B does, but I just felt a little bit more comfortable with Spec B, so I think that's won me round. I think it's won me over. Let me know what you guys would choose. What are you looking for when you go for these tests? How are you doing the tests? Now we look at Spec A though. Some good consistent laps there. Not massively, but I'll do some more later. So I'll do the warm-up, I'll do the practice in the races, and I'll do it from there. But it's a tough decision. It really is. I like Spec B. Spec B just felt right, but they weren't that consistent for me. It's not a track to be very good at, but I don't know. Those are the differences on screen. That's actually wrong. Spec A had high tyre wear, not medium. That's a lie. I'm going to check, but that's a lie. It was the other way around. I hope it doesn't change halfway through because Spec B definitely felt better. Tough choice. But guys, I'm going for Spec B. I'm going for Spec B, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Let me know if you're excited for the season. What do you think the potential and expectations are for the season? And I guess I'll chat to you in there. So guys, thanks for watching as always. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the comment section down below. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.